right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Skip from BK, host of Dreams Money Can Buy, and we have in the building one of the wittiest, one of the most flyest wordsmiths out of Queens in the motherfucking building. It's been a long time coming. We gotta have the effects. We gotta add like the claps and all like the confetti coming out like your championship thing. I've known Zoe for like 10, 12 years. I don't remember. I know it's like a decade, like minimum. Yeah. So, and before I didn't know her to be like the poet, like that's when I remember like she was just witty with the rhyming when it came to like, spoken word, like I'm gonna get these women out the drawers without the music in the back. And now she added melodies in the background. I was like, okay, now she's getting all these people with the raps and like that bravado. So we gotta say one time, Zoe Gawd. Is it Zoe Gawd? Is it Zoe Gawd? Zoe Gawd? Mm-hmm. So I'll be sounding like saying out mad extra shit. So it's Zoe Gawd. So how you doing? How you feeling today?
I'm good. That's funny. A lot of people do that on their own because they say like they'll see like Zoe, but my name is Zoe, but no one calls me Zoe except my mom. So it's
I'm not trying
Zoe.
to be that because I'm just used to like me calling you Zoe. So it's like Zoe Gawd. So how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I'm happy to be here.
Dreams
Money Can Buy.
Yeah, so
one of my favorite Drake songs. So
that is, as a Drake fan, that's one of my favorite, and I feel like that's like the best way to, put this concept together. But before we even get to the music, did you like when you were younger? Did you actually wanted to like rap? Like when you were younger, did you actually even fathom that at all?
No, I wanted to be real. I wanted to be an Egyptologist. That's really what I wanted to be.
What the hell is that?
So it's just someone who studies Egypt, like just all things about Egypt. And actually, like, my chest piece is like, the people can't see, but my chest piece is like Egyptian. One of my biggest pieces on my thigh is Egyptian. I'm really into Egypt. I really love Egypt.
So were you like watching, what's that movie with the Prince of
Egypt?
Were you like watching all those cartoons and just like hieroglyphics and all the culture and stuff like that? So
yes and no. So yes, because like, DreamWorks came out with that movie. That's like one of my favorite movies too. Like that soundtrack, Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey, first of all. But my mom bought me these books. Like my mom used to always read to me, and that's kind of where I got my learning, where I got my love of like books and writing and all that stuff. It really came from my mom. So my mom bought me these 3 books, and it was how to be a Roman, how to live like an ancient Roman, how to live like an Egyptian, and how to live like Aztec. That's what it was. And I had like all these books, and it was like a big kids picture book. I had to be like 4, like 3 or 4, because I started reading when I was like 3. So like really early on. So I would read these books, and the Egyptian one was just my favorite. Like that was just it. So when they asked me in kindergarten, it's like, what do you want to be? I was like, I want to be an Egyptologist. I want to go out there and study Egypt. So that's really what I wanted to do. But life starts putting different things in your head, and you grow and you evolve, and then I want to be a writer. So that's really where it came from, just me wanting to be a writer. Okay,
so that means just from mom's support and influence of, first of all, I wasn't looking at no goddamn picture books and trying to study history. I was just watching cartoons and stuff. What I think is interesting in that, like, in addition to like you writing, you were also athletic. Like before anything, you were a hooper. You were just an athlete. Like you were crushing it. And not once did you talk about that, which is interesting. Like was sports like a hobby for you because you were just kind of like good at it?
So I was always athletic. So I was always like that girl that wanted to play with the boys outside. Like, I was always athletic. My brother played basketball, my older brother. And he was like really influential on my life. He still is very influential on my life. He's where I get like my swag from, like everything. Like, so he played ball, so it was like I really swam. Swimming was my first sport.
Wow, actually. Okay. I would have never known that.
Yeah, I used to like be in like those asphalt green like competitions and stuff, those heats and everything. And like I could have like did more Olympic training, but I wanted to be like my brother, and so I wanted to play ball. So after college, I really just lost the love of it because I got injured in college. I played for Brooklyn College for 4 years, but my freshman year I had a groin injury. And when I came back, it was like life had kind of gone on. Like, in college, you get hurt as a freshman, you expected to come in and play a role when they recruit you. So you're supposed to fit into their offense, fit into their team. So I hurt my groin, so it was like, okay, well, the second girl had to come off the bench and after me and kind of fill in, and she ended up really performing. So the team kind of already had their thing by the time I was ready to play again. So that kind of killed my love of the game, because then it was just practice. It was like I'm not really a part of the team like how I was in high school. High school was like you scoring 20 points a game. It's like shit don't stop if you're not on the court type. But it's like, damn, I'm in college, I'm doing all this. I'm like, fuck it, I might as well just get an education while I'm here, whatever.
Okay, so that happened in freshman year. Was that fall semester or spring semester?
Fall semester.
Because that's when because the season usually ends in like kind of like mid spring semester, right?
Like mid spring, yeah. Like
Okay.
you in playoffs around like the springtime.
Okay. Question: when did you start like going up for like the poetry events? Like, because I remember you started to, like you said, you're a writer. When did you start getting that love up and go on stage and showing you these concepts?
That was like high school. Probably around freshman year.
Okay,
actually,
so-
that's so funny. I never thought about that.
That's why when it comes to like the interviews, a lot of times certain things happen in your life where it's like you're really good at something, and it's something that you've been kind of like working on your whole life, and it's like
That's crazy.
then life is like, yo, I'm here, and I feel like for you it's like, all right, cool. You have bars, right? So that's when you started doing poetry, because I've known you as hooper / poetry. So that's
Right.
why now understands why you didn't hoop no more. I was like, well, I remember the poetry, and now.
Right.
So this is when you start taking off with just, yo, I've been writing, I've been
Right.
doing all these concepts in my head.
Right,
Let's keep doing it.
because that's really when I started. Like, when I was in high school, my senior year, I think it was my senior year or my like late junior year, and it was this guy that I went to high school with. And one day we cut school, because I used to cut school, whatever. And we cut school and went to his studio in Ravenswood. It was like a home studio, whatever. And I remember I seen him, and I was just there. We were smoking, whatever. And he's making music, and I'm just sitting there like, yo, like I could do that. Like I do that.
Okay.
I do that from Tumblr. You know,
Yeah.
I used to make these YouTube, but I used to make these like YouTube videos of me just like spitting poetry on Tumblr, and it would get a good response. So I'm just looking at him like, you doing this to music? Like, I love music. Like, kidding me? Jay-Z, Nas, what are you talking about? I love music. I could rap, like,
Okay.
if I really wanted to. So then I had this friend who lived in my neighborhood, and his name was Josh. He actually still raps now. Shout out to him. And he had a cousin. His name is Poppy. You should look him up. He does really good music. And he was like, yo, come through and I'll record you. And I remember the first thing I ever recorded was this freestyle to High Power by Kendrick Lamar. And after I recorded that shit, I said, oh, nah. This is it right here. Like I love this. Like it's
So that song's not on SoundCloud.
No.
Okay,
That's
cool.
like super back in the. That was like, by the time I recorded that shit, that was like maybe like 2012, because I had to get the urge to do it like 2013, like around there. Like I had to like get the courage up,
Okay.
because I realized that's what I wanted to do back then, but I never really did it. I was just like writing. There was like a time period where I wrote like so much, and I never recorded it, but the first thing I ever recorded was that freestyle.
Okay. Because this is great, because especially when I feel like it kind of is similar to like me when I talk about like comedy. Like I've been watching comedy like for years growing up. That's what typical black kids is what we do with our parents when they're not listening to us. We just watch some kings of comedy or whatever. And then you see someone do it, and it's like, not to say that you're better than them, but it's like, they're nice. I think I can do that too. And I feel like now for you, it's like that inception moment of like, now there's an idea and it's going to keep sparking, right? So you did a song. It's not on anywhere. 2012. The first song that I listened to was, well, not that I listened to, but the ones that going in order is It's 2 a.m. and that's 2016.
Ooh,
And I love that song. Not that I don't love all her songs, but as like a song that's kind of like, if you wanted to start history with that, like to me, I put my notes slow driving music. Like if you're just cruising down late at night and you just pop that in, it's called 2 a.m. So if you like just late at night, just like, yo, I'm trying to talk to this person and he's not really big. It's like this type of vibe that you're kind of like, so that's 4 years before you actually put something out and you just left it there. That means I am proud of this song. So what happens in those 4 years between 2012 and 2016 when it comes to like that journey into like, yo, you know you have the talent, and how do you like develop it?
So the funny part about that is I actually did have songs prior to 2 a.m. But what happened was I can't even say who, because they still feel bad to this day. Gave somebody my SoundCloud and I was like, I want you to take this one song off. And they deleted everything. So I had like maybe like 5 tracks before 2 a.m. But the fact that happened was kind of like, I was Good Money Made back then. Because before I was Zoe Gawd, my name was Good Money Made. So I had a whole like
so
kind
those
of identity.
Those 5 songs were under the Good Money Made.
Yeah. So those 4 years were growth. Like that 4 years was because I used to write back in 2011 going on the train to Brooklyn College, because that's like a 2-hour train ride from Jamaica.
Yeah, it's like it's a journey. So you have a lot of time on your hands.
I had so much time. So and I've always like gone to school a borough away, because my parents were always like, I live in Jamaica. My parents were always like, you're not going to school around here. Like that's just not happening. Like we work too hard. Like I used to actually live up here on 44th Street and 12 at that Manhattan mini storage. My dad used to be the general manager, and there was an apartment there. So I used to live there just so I could go to school in Manhattan. So like elementary school, went to school in Manhattan, middle school, went to school in Manhattan, high school, went to school in Long Island City. So my parents were very like, go outside of your neighborhood type shit. So I always had this time on my hands. So I was always like I didn't even know what instrumentals were. I used to write to like beats, but the song, like the actual song playing with the other person's lyrics, and I used
so
to
you were
write.
still making that work, like you were still listening to the song, but you kind of like mentally took their verses out and it's like, this is how I'd sound on
this is before I knew about, because remember I really was just going from poetry to writing music, so I didn't know what an instrumental was. I didn't know to go on YouTube and look for this instrumental, that instrumental. I didn't know that, so I was literally just taking that 2 hours. I remember writing to like J. Cole and stuff like that. Like, you know what I mean? Just like a too deep for the intro type shit. Like songs that would let the beat breathe, and at the end I would just loop the end. Like I remember like just scrolling back and looping the end. So I was writing for a very, very long time, and then I came out with Good Money Made because Kanye is one of my favorite. And you know, with Can't Tell Me Nothing, you know, the sample at the end, it sounds like Good Money Made. So that was my thing. And I made these tracks, and they were good, but I was still kind of finding myself. So when I came out with, so when I told the person to delete this track, it was because I didn't like it. And so when they deleted everything, it was just kind of like, okay, well, I might as well start over. So and then that's when like Zoe Gawd kind of was born. Okay.
So what tapped in to make that moniker, like, because now we know it, like it has streams on YouTube and, you know, Spotify and Apple Music. Like what just clicked in your mind is like, Zoe is a god, like Zoe Gawd. That's it. It's just very simple. It's two things. You put it together like, yo, I do this shit. Like, how did you even come with that moniker?
That's kind of funny because like I never really gave myself that name.
Oh, someone like told you that?
You know how like people will say like if you have like a 1-syllable name, people will add stuff to your name like Zoe Money, like they're like, yo, Zoe Money, yo Zoe Gawd. Like, so honestly, I just heard somebody say Zoe Gawd. I don't know which one of my friends said it. I don't know if it was Eddie. I don't know if it was Eddie, if it was you. I don't know who it was. It was Eddie.
She's looking off to the,
I think
just
it was
make sure,
Eddie.
because she's not talking to the wall.
I'm talking to my son Mac, who behind the camera.
Mac is laughing. He's like, you guys can't even see me, but she's talking to me right now.
Those guys have known me as the baller. Like they've known me as the girl that comes to the park to play ball. And like from there, it was just like, okay, because I was not sheltered, but my mom tried to keep me like not in the hood, like per se.
Which is funny because I think one of your tracks was like, because mom said she wanted to do better because you were like living in Jamaica. And it's like, yo, you had to go on the train ride like late, and I think it was like 8 something to hang out with these people.
Hang out, yes.
I think that was from Hillside, the Hillside EP or something like that.
Yeah,
but
mama,
it was funny because like when you like, that was such an honest like song, but like it makes sense because it's very fascinating that you were going to school in the city in Long Island City, because no disrespect to like, you know, a lot of the impoverished areas in Brooklyn and Queens, but they don't get to see, like when I first went to the city, I was like, what in the fuck is this? So the fact that you were in school and all the time is like, you see all these different kind of people, like this is regular, but you still come back to the hood. So you're basically Duolingo. Like you know how to speak 2 languages. You know how to speak like this upscale speakers, like these little bougie people, and you still know how the hood is.
And I always want to bring that back too. Like that you could ask like my niggas, I'm always talking their ear off about like changing a mentality or like trying to do something more for themselves than what they see, because I remember being elementary school, going to the Statue of Liberty on a school trip, going to all these museums, natural history, MoMA. Like as a kid, like I've been there multiple times, going on Broadway, seeing Lion King on Broadway, seeing all this stuff on Broadway. School trips, summer camp, being somewhere. My mom was in a place where she really like, she's from Brooklyn. She's from like Bushwick, like Bed-Stuy area. So she's seen the opportunities that they have that we don't. And by they, I mean just privileged opportunities like white people.
Yeah.
Like they have this kind of, their school districts are better. Their teachers are better. They have
bigger budgets, all that stuff.
They have everything. And then to see what the hood has, it's just like, I would have been right there. But so my parents literally, like, no funny shit, did some shit to make sure that my zip code read the city so that I could be zoned for these good ass schools, so I could go to this school, so I could do this. So that just plays a lot into it. But I always try to bring that back to the hood because it's important to me. It's really important.
And I feel like earlier when you were talking about like your brother, right? Your older brother, when it comes to his style, his swag, and him playing sports, and you wanted to be like, because you're the baby. I remember you said it in the song. So you're like the youngest, and you like, not to,
there's three of us.
You're like one of the most talented. I like that energy. You talk about it, but it's like something with you and legacy, right? And I feel like when it comes to Black people, we take pride in not only like our parents, but our siblings, because they help like kind of like make us, right? And then you kind of branch out and you own your name, you own your lane and stuff like that. Now with this, you like the first couple of songs, so we deleted all those other songs that happened, but sometimes...
But it was a blessing.
I was about to say, sometimes those mistakes, because now...
I wasn't even as mad as I should have been. And I was like, you know what? I was like, you know what? Fuck it.
I think that was to redirect you to this name, because I'm going to say, Good Money Made is not as swaggy as Zoe Gawd. And it's still cool. I fuck with you, but...
Yeah, everybody just thinks I'm Haitian now. Or they say Zoe Gawd.
Well, hey, that means you're getting a little Haiti wherever you go. That's good.
Facts.
Some of the earlier songs to me is like, it's such an interesting like use of like, because like the Alibi, like I was thinking like up tempo, like club EDM music. And what's interesting is how you say you want to bring things back, kind of like to the hood. Ain't nobody in the hood listen to those type of productions all the time unless we put some funk on it. But you'd be surprised. But you put some funk on it. That's what I'm saying. I'm not just saying that we don't listen to nothing, but if you make it good, like this was good, where I was like, I can see niggas in the hood playing this in the club. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that's important, where it's like I feel like your outside influences, where it's like you are not scared to experiment with other things. A lot of people like to be safe in this lane. Like, if I'm just gonna do drill, I'm just gonna do drill all the way. I'm gonna do this style, and it's like, it's cool. You'll be a specialty rapper, but your earlier exploration is like you were touching so many different types of styles that it just made you so well-rounded in so much of the music, and it's like more evident in your later pieces. Where it's
I feel that too.
Yeah, and when I was going through that journey, it's like I'm glad she did this song, because when you see like the later songs, you can see like how that style kind of gets refined in the pieces.
Yeah, and I love that duality that you can do that. Like I forgot what her name is.
Just try to describe her.
This Black girl that makes like pop, like Forever 21 pop. And they play her on like Z100 and shit, but like they don't market her like they should. And I feel like they put a lot of Black people in the R&B bin, in the urban bin, in the hip hop bin. But it's like there are Black people that do other type of music. They just don't put them out there as, I want to say Esther Dean, but it's not, but she's a good writer for that type of sound. Okay. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's not the one I was talking about specifically, but she's a name that like you don't really see her, because I'm a fan of songwriters. Like, so it's like you don't really see her being marketed as she should. Somebody like Tinashe, something like someone who's like a good songwriter that should just be pushed into another lane. Like, they're pop. Let them be pop. Like, they don't put them in those buckets.
Yeah, so, try to put them in R&B, try to force them on.
And I listen to a lot of shit. You know, I've been around a lot of people that listen to a lot of shit. So it's like,
and it shows.
I love that I can do that, and that's a skill I want to hone, because I want to write for people one day. I want to write for Katy Perry. That'd be fucking dope to write for Katy Perry. You know what I mean?
And I think because of your background, it's definitely dual. I feel like because of your, I didn't go to Broadway shows till I had a Broadway internship. That was in college. That's when I was like 21. That means before 21, what is a Broadway show? Right. You saw that when you were a kid,
the playbills and shit.
Like I was inputting information on the computer of like, who's this? So I got to read all of it, but it's like, I would have, Lion King, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, you know, for you, it's like, because you got this access, it's like, you're kind of like a female ghost that doesn't die. You know, like, like dying over some stupidness. Like, you get to see both worlds. And now in the music, like, before you have, like, I guess your first EP on here, which is like 888 Volume 1, right? The way you market is very interesting to me, because you'll throw like 2 songs from the project and be like, this is what you get. This is it. enjoy this. This is your appetizer. Because when you get the whole thing, it's gonna make sense, right? Because when I listen to the singles by itself and then I listen to it in the order of like the album, like the EP, I was like, this is fucking genius. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because then it's like, because a lot of times people be like, yo, this is in my opinion, my best song. It's like, it's not that these are my best songs, but these are the ones I just want you to appetize with. Because then when you listen to the story of like this piece where it's like, yo, this is fucking genius. I get this shit. Like, how did you even come up with like, did you kind of figure that out with working with your friends, or like, did you just instinctively know, I'm just going to keep, because it's the same formula you do. You do like the two, I'm going to give you two. This is it. And once you're done with these two, I'm going to give you the entire
That's subconscious,
thing.
not going to hold you.
That's crazy.
That's subconscious.
You probably didn't even realize that.
I don't plan it out as intricately as how you put it. Like
That's amazing.
What I'll do is like my favorites.
Okay.
I take a lot of advice. Like I hear it and I really do hear it, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna do what I want. So like, for example, like I'm finally doing the No Buddy Buddy video. I should have done, like people say you should have done that video, because a lot of people, they're like, yo, that song is the song that my hood niggas like that song. Like the hood likes that song. Like you should have did that song first. And it's like, yeah, but Safe is a banger though. I love Safe. I love the production on it, blah, blah, blah. Just for example. And No Favors, it's like, yeah. And then like with Freestyle, it's like Freestyle is my favorite. Some people say I should have done like another track or just something else, but it's like I just do what I want to do. Like, so it's so funny how it makes sense to you, because I guess it makes sense to me, because like I kind of write for myself. I
mean, but that's the point, right? Like when I'm looking at this, to me, and not like I'm like some type of genius, like I'm not an AR or anything, but like as like, you know, a peer of yours, like a friend, I'm looking at it like, this makes sense. Like 18 is using Drake's Summer 16. Like, it's interesting. Like before you start going aggressive with it, it's like you hear the beat and it's like, oh, this is about to be some shit, right? And then the next one is Alive, which is like another, like, you know, it's a Black Boy JB's, you know, Look Alive, and I'm like, this is some shit. Right?
That was a really good time for me to figure out my look and my sound. That was very, very instrumental in that. And I was actually working with somebody that I had a really good video deal with them, where we would do like straight shots, just like straight through, no cuts. And that was it, like no crazy edits. But I could do so many of them because it was cheap, because it was given to me at a discount price. So we could just shoot one video. So when I recorded those songs, it was easy to get that out. So I learned how to be like, okay, let me record this. Out of all these songs I recorded, I really like 18, Summer 16. That was that, you know, Drake was coming crazy. Like, what y'all talking about? Like, and so that was kind of like Zoe Gawd, like coming out, like, oh, where, what you talking about? Even though I had stuff before and I was Zoe Gawd before with like songs like Famous and all that, I didn't really have visuals. Like my first real visual was 18. That was my first real visual.
So is it also like, and maybe this is probably a subconscious thing, like when you like drop like these as a singles, are those kind of like the lead-ins, like you would want to make music videos definitely for those two songs? Like these are like of the project, like I'm gonna give you these songs and I'm gonna make sure you get the visuals to it, and then you just gotta wait and sit with this until the album comes out.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. I was gonna say, because I was like re-listening to today, and I was just like, I love like when I listen to a song and it's like, you know, before like you really start, you hear the beat and it's like, all right, I know what type of, it's about to be some fuck shit. We about to like fuck this whole shit up. And it's like, listen to you rap on Jay-Z's Family Feud. That's such a hard beat, and how you come on that. I think the only beat that I just didn't know, I don't know what it is, like Problems. I don't know what
that was
beat.
a Dave East beat.
Okay, that makes sense why I don't know what that is. No shot to you, Davies. Like,
no, but yeah, it's
like,
a very hip hoppy.
Yeah, I was just like,
out of
like it was dope, but I was just like, who the fuck song is it? Like, the other songs were easy. Like 88 was A Boogie. It's like I was like, I know those songs.
I love that.
I listened to a lot of music, but I was like,
should did a video for that one.
I was like, I mean, hey man,
I still can.
You could, and I feel like I feel like as an artist, a lot of times we feel like we have to. You listen to the feedback from the audience, right? And you care, because, you know, those are people that they play your songs, they get your reach out more. But who says you can't make a music video for something that came out like a year or two ago from you? Like sometimes when it comes to the visuals, maybe you just have to sit with certain things where it's like, all right, now I feel like making a music video. And then it gets more streams to that project. And I feel like for you, I don't think you make rules that abide by like the industry standard. You just kind of like go by what does Zoe Gawd feel like doing? And I feel like that's organic. When it's like for other people, it's like, well, you have this formula and do this. And it's like, yo, bro, this is not basketball. It's not NFL. We don't need the statistics. Just go where the heart is type thing.
I'm actually glad you brought that up because I needed that reassurance because I felt for so long I had to do that. Because it's like with artists, it's like they only show you on the up and up. Like they tell their artists to delete their old posts and do shit because they're about to brand you a certain way. Like this is something you just have to learn, you know, whatever. But I needed that assurance that it doesn't matter what they say. I'm not signed. Like I could do what I want. This is the freedom that those signed artists wish they had. They wish they could just do shit on a whim. It's like, why am I holding myself to those standards when I could create my own lane, like you said? So, yeah, I think that's really important for any artist to just not abide by those standards. Just do what the fuck you feel like it.
Because it gives you freedom. I feel like that's what's interesting, where it's like when you're unsigned, a lot of people's like, I'm working hard to get signed, right? And then when you're signed, it's like, fuck, man.
Damn, I
wish I wasn't signed anymore.
Deal.
And that's why it's like interesting, like that fight, because everyone's looking at the other side. It's like, well, you have all this money, you have all this push, but it comes to it takes away from the creative process. It takes away from, hey, I need you to have this type of song or this type of song in your album. So I don't care, but we have to have a radio hit. And it's like, I mean, you can manufacture a hit, but is it organic? Where you're trying to force people to the spot, like, I need this person to be number one so we can recoup our budget. And I feel like for you, like, it's a very steady pacing of like when you have the singles, when you throw out some of like the testers, and then you have like these pieces where each EP or each project is like a different vibe, right? So when I was going from 888 Volume 1 to like November, it's just different. Like even
Super
looking at
different.
the title of like the tracks, and I pay attention to it, like the titles in 888 Volume 1, they're like regular spelling, right? But when you get to November, they're all caps. Why is that? Why is that? I'm looking at the camera, so don't look. I'm not looking at the camera. So he's like, man, he's like, I have to act like I'm looking at the audience. Look at now. I broke the full floor. Look at you. Broke the full floor because of you. So why is that? I feel like there's intention behind your artist, and if it's another subconscious thing, you have to have a conversation with your subconscious, because that person is just talking to you. Is like, you should just do
That's
this.
Zoe Gawd, but that's the going back to the name. It's like that kind of worked. It was like that kind of came out, and it just snapped with me. I was like, oh, Zoe Gawd, because I'm the god of my life. I'm the god of my universe, my kind of thing. So sometimes it don't be me. I be writing shit that I hear a beat and I'll start off like maybe the first half of the bar, but the rest of the song is not me at all. Like I'll re-listen to my shit and I'll be like, oh shit, was that a double entendre? I didn't even mean to do that. Like I didn't even mean to have this. I didn't mean to do this at all. So that happens to me a lot. But that was intentional. So that was I was working with the same people that I was working with when I dropped 888 Volume 1, and I just felt like I wanted to write an album more so, because like songs like Heavy, tracks like that are more like put together, more like songs. So, and it was very emotional.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get to that.
That tape was very emotional. I was going through a very, very rough time.
Yes, it shows.
So it's kind of like I was yelling all these emotions out, because I really felt better after after that. I kind of you could tell like from the music, I definitely like got over it, felt better, but it was kind of like I was screaming those emotions out. So that's why all of them are capped.
Okay, because then I was like, yo, this is mad intense, right? And I feel like, you know, even for the notes that I had for like songs like Wishy Washy, and I put combo. So it was like how that song feels, just like if it was like a video, like a fighting video game, it was like just nothing but like hits. It was just like, this is intense. Bang, 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 verse. And it was just like, yo, this is a very intense start to this ride, and it just doesn't end, right?
No, not at all.
Because the next one is like heavy, very slow, deliberate, and you can feel like this, like, yo, I want my genre back. I really want. It's like, yo, what is with you? You don't understand that I'm the shit, and what's wrong with you?
I'll fucking kill you and your man.
That was very intense. I was like, damn.
If that song came out now, I'd get canceled.
No, you wouldn't.
I wouldn't get canceled, but you know,
people be like, damn, like the next genre be like, I might have to get a bulletproof vest. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like,
fuck up.
but like pastime, getaway night like this, it's very like soulful, right? Like you have it as a title for like one of your songs in 888 Volume 1, but like it's very intentional, but it's like you feel it. I feel like a lot of times we have empty calorie songs, and what I mean by that is a lot of people that make a song, but I didn't really learn something from you. I didn't really feel like your journey. And with this, like, we can all relate. It's like, yo, I feel this. Like, I'm trying to get my genre back. And she's talking to other people. It's like, what is wrong with you?
I feel so low.
And I feel like, yo, what do I got to do? Like, I'm the fucking that nigga. And I feel like with you and how you kind of like do the music, we feel that. Like, that's what gets in our bag a lot of times. Sometimes it could be work, it could be family, but nothing gets you in a bag like a ting that's not trying to pick up your text messages or your calls, and you got to send emails, and like you got to pay Cash App, like send
it's
$20.
all about control.
Yeah, and I feel like that's so like impressive, like how you transition from one piece to another piece when it comes to each album or each project entity. And this is just 2018. I was
just going through some shit when November came out. I was going through some shit. Yeah, I should have did more visuals for that. That's how I know like visuals is my thing moving forward. Like, cause I just know. But yeah, 2018 was a crazy year for me.
And we go to 2019. You know, Griselda 100 Shooters freestyle.
Son. I was just tired of niggas fucking with me. I was just tired of niggas saying I wasn't nice. Like, I was just tired of it. Like, I was like, I'm not in these conversations. Like, are you shit? I'm not in these conversations. Like, y'all have a conversation that's not talking about. You see what I've done? Like, I'm not the nicest in the hood, like, and I really feel that way. Like, I love everybody. I think everybody's talented, but I really think I'm the nicest in my hood. I do, like, and I feel like I'm nicer than a lot of people in New York, and I also feel like I'm a lot nicer than a lot of people on the East Coast, and I also feel like I'm a lot nicer than a lot of people.
This is a clip. This is a clip right here. I gotta get this as a clip.
I really do. I really feel like I'm nicer than anybody else. Like, cause you have to feel that way. I'm the best Zoe there is. How you gonna tell me I'm not the best Zoe Gawd there is? I am the only Zoe Gawd. How you not gonna tell me I'm not elite? How you not? So I was in my bag when I wrote that. I was like, well, y'all niggas is okay. Let me show y'all.
I feel like they would like listen to your last project, like, man, she in her emotions. We're not gonna even listen to it. It's like, oh, you thought. And I feel like that when you get into that braggy, I love braggy rap, even though I'm not at that financial capacity to brag as much as I want right now. But it's like nothing makes you like inspired when other people be just talking they shit. And I feel like when you get into that bag, like, it's not to say that's the only bag, but you excel in all the bags. That's my favorite bag. I don't want to say like how we tell Drake, like, I need you to make like a pure rap album. I give up. Drake, just make us good music. I don't care. But for that, I just need a couple of songs. Drake too. Yeah, I just need you to
the 5 a.m. in Toronto, Drake, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of AMs.
It's a lot of AMs. I think it's the 5 a.m. in Toronto. The one that how does that fucking start? He's like, why Lee? Why is it always me? There's wiretaps on the team. Got my weight up, never used to wait up and started to do that one. Oh my God, that's my Drake.
Because you feel it. You feel like, yo, y'all not listening, so I'm just gonna like use these music and these bars and it's just gonna be like, yo, you kind of have to sit and take this for like the next 3 to 4 minutes. And you know what's interesting? A lot of your songs are very they hover around like 2:45 to like maybe 3:30, 3:45. Like, you're not a person that I'm trying to waste your time, right? And it's like nothing you make is a waste of time, but it's like, I'm here for a good time, not a long time, but it's gonna make sure that in this time you're gonna hear this shit. And you're gonna have a good ass day.
My thing is, I like recording like 2:30. That's really my sweet spot. Like, if I go over, I'm like, oh, this is a long song. Like, if I have like a 3:30 song, I'm like, oh, this is a long song for me. Because I know, for one, and I also know that nowadays people's attention spans are not where it used to be. I also want you to run the song back. So I'll make it intentionally short, 2:20 track, for you to be like, oh shit, that was nice. Like, a beach is better. Like, you know how many times I played Beach is Better for that like 1 minute 50 seconds? Like, you know how many times I played that shit? And you know how many streams he got from that? You know what I mean? From niggas running it back. So it's all a formula. I take all things into account.
And it's just natural. Like, you would have thought like the way that your projects have been coming out in like the last, you gotta make time because pandemic kind of like messed up my internal clock. But like for the last 3-4 years, right? Like, you're moving now, like, you're like a veteran, right? Like, how intentional you are with the pieces. Like, a lot of people just like, I'm just going to put out like 15, 20 mixtapes, which is cool for like getting your experience points up. But when it comes to like building pieces that, you know, what's going to grow over time, like what's going to people coming back to, like, we're talking about Drake, like we can talk about the So Far Gone, and we can talk about like now his care package. Like, like, that's just like his throwaway songs. He put it together.
He knew what he was doing.
And
with
it's
that,
just like those type of things are just an experience where it's like, I can see myself listening to a lot of your projects for like a long time. Not even just I'm in my 30s.
I appreciate that because it's like you try to make stuff that's you know what, scratch that, because you shouldn't try to make anything. It should just happen. So when you're making shit that's real to you, it's always gonna last. Like again, Drake,
Like, what is that saying?
real music's
only
always gonna last.
last.
Like the other bullshit hits it, and it's true because trendy shit that was hot 2 years ago, where are they?
Yeah, I don't even know.
Sizzle in a pan, you know what I mean? They gone. That's it. So, but if you make something that's really near and dear to your heart, fuck everybody else, to your heart, then that shit is gonna translate to other people, and real is always gonna be real.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter.
So just because you just said dear to your heart, getting into the Hillside EP,
Yes, sir.
we start off with Mama, all caps. So you're still, like, everything's all caps. Is that also intentional? Because sometimes in the future, you get back into I'm not writing in caps. So for like 3 pieces, you do that for this, you do that for November EP, and you do that for Blanco. Everything's in caps. And then 888 Volume 2 was like, I'm going to not yell at y'all no more. Like, why did you?
Because it's not, remember, again, that like 888 Volume 2, it's a mixtape.
Yeah.
It's not like.
So are you going to do that for all your albums?
I think so.
Okay.
Because I'm screaming at you.
Okay.
Those are like the emotion.
Because I feel it.
Feel
I
better.
feel it. Yeah. Because I feel like when you get into album mode, like Zoe, it's different than like mixtape. I'm having fun though. It's like it feels like it was like playing basketball. Like we're just shooting around. It's like, all right, I'm testing out this move.
You playing 21.
I'm doing a 360 real quick.
Facts.
If I hit it on you, I'm sorry. You just got dunked on. If I don't, I'm just practicing. But in the game, it's like I'm gonna get serious.
You running the plays.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's intentional. A lot of people don't realize that, and they're like, "Yo, why don't you come out with this?" It's like, "Yo, everything gotta be intentional, and gotta, especially nowadays, you gotta have the right push behind everything, marketing in the right direction." Because right now, I have a good like base, good core fan base, but now it's about doing stuff like this, reaching, getting that other person, getting those other people to just come in and stuff. So, but with
the tempo
Mama,
for this.
Yes.
Is like, so like the early ones, I'm not gonna say it's like up tempo, but it's like it's in your face with the energy. This is like, you're like, if this is like Scarface and you're like sitting in like that big ass mansion and you got like the white suit on, you smoking like a cigar and you're like, you motherfuckers think you could talk to me like that? It's like you're talking like in a very direct and calm way in this album where it's just like, y'all niggas can't fuck with me. It's like such a different tempo. Like, what caused that shift? Like, you've always had that because you've done it a couple songs, but like the entire project is like,
I think it's the confidence.
Yeah.
I think that was the tape that really solidified my sound. Like, okay, boom, this is what I'm gonna sound like. This is the music I'm gonna make. This is the videos I want to create, because that's when I started having, I think on that project, what I have Elite. I have like the visual for Mama is like footage from my birthday, which is still cool. But I don't have like a video for it. But Do You, Elite, okay. Like that's when I was like, okay, this is Zoe Gawd, this is marketing, this is image, this is serious. We coming at you for real. Like this is the package. This is what I want to sound like. Like, so I think it was just the confidence.
Okay. Because November had, I think it's 5 songs. This also has 5 songs. And then before we get to like Blanco, which has like 11 songs, right? So you consider like, because it's listed that November and Hillside are like EPs. Mm-hmm. And then Blanco's like, is that like a magic number for you? Because I feel like it's a sweet spot of like EPs, 5 songs. And will the albums kind of always be between 9 to 11 songs? Or is it just whatever you feel like?
I think the albums always be like 9 to 11, because I don't believe in like the 16, 18 until I'm signed and I have a budget to do that. Because if an artist comes out with a track with an album that has 18 songs on it, that means they recorded like 200. You know what I mean? So if I'm recording 20 and I pick 8, then that's it.
Okay. I just like how, like, I don't want to say easy digestible because it's not like baby like raps, but like the time where it's like I told you before you guys got here, I was just listening to all of it. Like I think I was re-listening to, I got up to Volume 2 by the time you guys got here. So I was like, I listened to everything else. And I was just like, it's just easy to like play in the background, or if you want to intentionally be like, yo, look, it's fucking double or triple entendre. Yo, this visual, I get it. And I feel like, who are you listening to during this process of like, not even just when you're in album mode or like mixtape mode, you're making music yourself? You say Drake, but who are the other people when you're like kind of like growing up? You said J. Cole. Like, let's list a couple of rappers that when you look at them, it's like, I really like how they do things. Not even just like their music, but like they make really good music.
Future. He's a super big inspiration to me musically. And he really is the Hendrix because of how he does certain things. But he also records a lot. He records every day. So when he comes out with stuff, you have a lot of tracks. But I really like the way he is sonically, him and like Thug. are like everything to me. And really Drake, I really don't listen to a lot of people. Like I go into phases. Like I think I was listening to a lot of Pop Smoke when like before Blanco. I was listening to a lot of Pop Smoke. And just getting inspired from the energy, because I love energy rap. Like I used to really like 6ix9ine before everything. I really used to like. I just like that energy
because it's
rap.
like it really is in your face
like,
with it.
Like now, like I'm starting to listen more to like Vaughn and like Dirk and like them. But I really like Vaughn. Like my girl really likes Dirk, but I really loved Vaughn. R.I.P. Like because it's just energy. It's just real energy at you. Like just energy. So I like energy. I like confident rappers. I deal with enough like shit on my own. Like I kind of like listening to rappers that are like, yeah, I know that I'm fucked up, but guess what? I'm also gonna shine this $1 million watch in your face. And you know, I went back inside the attic, counted up and started laughing. Like that's what I like listening to, because it gives me the confidence to kind of just like be myself. So that's kind of where that project came in, because it was kind of like I was falling into that place where I could do that for other people. If that makes sense.
No, I get it because you know it's interesting.
We talking like this and then the point be here.
sometimes you got to get off the path to come back on the path. But I just find it interesting that you said Drake, Future, and Thug, because I had like another interview and that person was saying the same thing. Even though sonically y'all are two different people, when it comes to the creative aspects, I can see it. Whereas like those influences, they just go in different ways. So he's more of like a singer, and you're more of like, I definitely would like to connect you. I'm gonna note, future me, connect these people.
No, for real.
This is hilarious. I'm talking about stuff like this. But
nah, it's great. It's genuine.
Yeah, but why the name Blanco? Because Hillside, I get it. Because it's like, you know, coming up, that's
Griselda Blanco.
Okay, so because that just because it follows like that hunger.
I'm
like
here,
I'm gonna
like,
shoot y'all.
Like if y'all out there doing, y'all don't care what y'all doing. I'm the Griselda Blanco of this right here.
Okay.
And we already know who Griselda the godmother.
Yeah.
Like niggas study the swag, study the style, like similar. Like I see people around me start to like follow my formula, even like how I write my captions, even my like tags, my hashtags and stuff. Like I see how people are moving now, because how I've kind of figured out how to move. So it's like, even back then, like it really happened when I came out with the Elite video, because the video came out before the project did. So I remember when that video happened and everybody showed me mad love, and it was just like, oh my God, I felt so overwhelmed. I was just like, oh my God, like thank you guys, everybody coming out. It was like a dope ass turnout. It was a good video. And then after that, I just saw like everybody else was like, oh shit, let me get my formula together. Let me move this way. Let me start releasing my shit like this. Let me start moving different. So I was really like, and I don't care, like, do your thing, because I'm one of those people that I know that there's enough money out here for everybody. So I'm not going to be like, oh, you copy my swag. It's kind of like, all right, I see you doing me, you know. You
but
could pay homage,
better.
but
yeah.
I do me. I mean, I'm the blueprint. So that's really where Blanco came from. It was like that attitude. It was like, I'm Griselda out here. I don't got to do much. Like, you know who I am. That's it. And I'm the girl. So.
And I'm the girl. Like,
no funny shit. Like,
no funny shit. But I think like because we kind of mentioned Blanco earlier in the interview, and just like circling back, like I just love seeing like that where like, you know, 2012, 2016, a different name, getting through the pen thing, working with producers and stuff like that, figuring out who you were. 2016, making singles. 2018, making 2 projects, and it's like fire. 2019, continue. 2020, you got Blanco and you have 888 Volume 2. So I feel like after you were yelling at people, you was like, all right, I want to stop yelling at these people, right?
I got my emotions out.
Right? Because, you know, you're very passionate in what you do. Like pretty much anything you do when it comes to just family, friends, people you hold down. It's like intentional in like everything that you do.
Right. I like that word.
Yeah.
I don't like the word passionate because I like intentional, because passionate, it invokes too much emotion and it plays into that. To me, passionate, when people say someone passionate, oh no, they're not angry, they're just passionate. It's like,
okay.
It's like they're emotional, but they mean well.
Okay, so
but it's like, no, I'm not.
Okay,
right. It's like more not saying that you're saying that about me, but I'm saying just generally speaking for me personally, I like that word intentional that you said. Like, that's good. Like, I like that energy.
Noted. All right, cool.
Let's go with that.
So when you got into this bag of like these 5 tracks, and I feel like unconsciously you just have like this formulas in your head, like 5 tracks for this is like,
Yeah,
how
I
did you
don't
know to
know.
pick these 5 beats to just kill
They
it
were just
on?
my favorite. Like kind of like what with the
The
888s. What I want them to kind of be like is like Lil Wayne's like dedications, no ceilings. Like you know how he goes in his off seasons that he takes like the tracks that he likes, and he like almost works on his flows, experiments. I know there was the documentary I watched, but pretty much like he like experiments like his different flows and different things. He'll like take someone else's flow and like experiment with that. And then when he's in album mode, you'll see he'll apply like different things to his actual Carters as opposed to his no ceilings, as opposed to dedications or whatever the case may be. So with my 888s, I want that to be kind of like my Wayne mixtape kind of thing. So it's like, yeah, I take these 5 tracks or 6 tracks that I really, really like that are commercial tracks. I can't get money off of them. So what is it? It's practice. Like, so it was just practice. Like that's all those tapes are, just like me having fun, like practice.
Okay. It's funny that I would have never guessed Wayne, because remember you said earlier you were talking about the Drake and Future, and you mentioned Thug, because Thug is a musical genius. I don't think people give him as much credit as he deserves, especially with how many different types of sounds he can
But
get out of him.
But Thug got his shit from like, well, I mean,
Not
Thug
Wayne,
reminds me. He reminds me of Wayne.
Well, like a new one, because he was inspired by him a lot.
That's what you know what I mean. So it's like I listen to Wayne, but his mixtapes. Like I listen to Carter too, and
That's like
his
that's like my favorite Carter, honestly.
Yeah,
like because that story with the skits and all those.
You
type
know
of
what
things.
I mean? Even Carter 1, I'll listen to Carter 1. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even The Block is Hot is not bad. Like, I'll listen to like that when I really am in the mood for like old hip hop. When I feel like I need to be inspired, it's like specific things I listen to, like specific Kanye, specific Jay-Z, specific Wayne. But when I'm just like, it's kind of like I be in a few modes, like moods when I'm writing. It's like it depends on how I'm feeling. Like if I'm feeling more like I want to feel myself a little more cocky, conceited, then it's like I'll listen to the Drakes, the Futures, the Thugs, like whatever. But if I'm in like a space where I want to get back to my rapping for real, then it'll be like specific J, like Reasonable Doubt, Blueprint, Volume 2. It'll be like College Dropout. Even 808, if I want to be like in my bag in that way, then it'll be like 808 and Heartbreak, whatever. Drake, I won't really even listen to Drake in that aspect. I'll listen to Wayne. I'll listen to Carter 2, listen to like dedications and shit, no ceilings or whatever, just to get in that lyrical bag.
Okay. So is this like your off-season training? Like, and just like what I mean by that is, you know, like every off-season LeBron will probably show him working out with, you know, his family and his friends and like, I'm getting ready for the season, right? Is it like for you where you kind of like look at highlights from like older rappers and like, not to be like, you know, but that energy of like that mindset of like, yo, I'm about to learn a new move, or like within myself, I'm trying to like, all right, I've done these projects and this is dope, right? Let me just go back into other people that I've listened to that I respect, and like, because like a lot of times we get inspired by other people, not that we're trying to mimic them, but something about this particular song or this particular how they put this music together is like, yo, this reminds me of, I want to do something not like it, but like my version without like that, if that makes sense what I'm saying. Like
it makes complete sense because it's the energy.
Yeah.
It's just the energy. Like that energy doesn't change when I listen to College Dropout. It never changes when I listen to that. When I listen to Late Registration, it never changes. If I listen to Reasonable, it never changes. So it's like I know what energy those things invoke. So it's like when I need to be in that season, I'll listen to this particular music, like artist or project, so that I kind of get in that bag. Yeah, if that makes sense.
No, I get it, and I feel like, I guess it's really weird when I don't have to be like the disclaimers, like, does this make sense? And it's like we understand each other. But what I think is very interesting sometimes when rap itself, like the landscape is just so vast, or it's like, you know, we have like a West Coast sound, East Coast sound, we have this down South sound. I feel like for you, in your music, because especially since you listed some people that are Southern rappers, and not to say that you have a Southern sound, but you can see like the Southern influences. Like you don't sound like you're from the West or the Midwest, but you do have like that grittiness of like, I can see you in like Atlanta and like those Southern cities, and I'd be like, I fuck with her because she just seems like someone I'd see on the block. you know? And I think that's what's dope with you when it comes to influences. So was it like no like people outside like Ye, because Ye's technically Midwest, but he's like backpack, right? Was there anybody in like the West Coast that kind of like resonated with you? Like,
I don't like the sound out there.
It shows though, right? And it's not even to be disrespectful.
Not to be disrespectful at all, but I don't like that YG Blueface type sound. I don't like that. I don't like that. Even like no disrespect, like I don't like a lot of music. Respectfully, I don't like a lot of music.
I love
like,
respectfully.
I really instead of no disrespect, it's like respectfully, I do not like a lot of music. Like I don't like. I'll support a lot of people. I'll download a lot of stuff, like and actually buy it for a lot of artists because they're this or that, you know. But there's a lot of music I don't like, and the shit that I like, I drown myself in it. So I'm very closed-minded, actually, when it comes to music, surprisingly.
But you know what was cool about that? And I don't even want to say drowning. It's just like, because you say words mean things, but it's like you immerse yourself into it, and it shows in like your own output, right? Because nobody's gonna say you're trying to sound something that is not you, right? Because most of these people that inspired you, you know, not like they're your idols, like you get like, you know, get groupie around them, but it's like y'all respect what you provide to the culture, and because of that, what your lessons that you've given me in the albums, like we haven't had a conversation, but I feel like I've had hours of conversations just because your music is talking to me. You're literally doing the same thing for other people, and I think that's what's kind of brilliant with your fan base.
That's dope. That's dope. That's actually a dope way of thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean, because you kind of like subtly said that earlier, and I feel like a lot of times when we do things, we don't really always. We don't do it because of like this fake impact. It's like it just naturally comes when it's just like I'm making this, not only just because, you know, I fuck with you guys as the audience, but this is what I want to make. To state what I had to say these times, like, you know, this one's for this project, this one's for this is one to remind y'all. Y'all can copy and do whatever, but at the end of the day, you can still feel the passion you can still feel the intention in music. The intention in the music.
See, doesn't it sound more intentional?
I had to fix that real quick. It's like the intention. And I think you have fun doing this. And I feel like you've always had fun doing it. You can see it. Like, you know, some people don't have fun doing it. They just
I don't know why they do it. Because the money ain't go unless you Rihanna, the money not hitting. No funny shit. This music shit is puts you in a hole.
That's why she making everything outside of music. Everyone keep asking her.
Exactly. There's no money in music. You know the money in music is just like that fucking pyramid scheme shit. The money in music is to get other artists. Now you have a label. Why do you think every artist has a label? Even artists that have no business having a label because they broke. Because they need to get money off of somebody else. But my music, I really want the intention to be like, you want to listen to me? I want you to get up off your ass to be the person that you want to be. Like, I always say, like, if you want to be a garbage man, be the best motherfucking garbage man there is, like, for life. And that's what I want my music to really be as the intention of it. I want people to feel like it's okay to be themselves. Like, it's gonna be hard. You're gonna go through shit, but everybody going through shit. Like, I want people to feel inspired to just just do what they want to do for real. Like, whatever. Everybody has something in them that they're good at or that they love. They don't even have to be good at it, but they love it. You know, it could be really hard, but you love it. Like, people that won't necessarily make it to the NBA, they turn out to be coaches and they live out their life because they love the game of basketball. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you don't necessarily gotta be LeBron. You could be coaching Little League and change the world just doing that. Like, just because you followed something that you love to do. And this is something I love writing. And it just so happens that with writing, you make a lot of money if you rap. And I love music, so why not do that? That's the only reason I'm doing what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I didn't love it, I would not be doing this at all. Like,
no, that's a fact. The thing is, and you just talked about it, right? 4 or 5-year-old Zoe, right? Looking at these books, being inspired by Egypt, getting cool-ass tattoos, cool-ass swag from her family.
Who would have thought?
Writing, going through growing up. Could have been an Olympic swimmer. I want to be like my brother, better than him. I'm about to beat his ass. He's older than me, I'm about to beat his ass.
Facts.
Went to college, and you know, it's like, let me use this writing that I basically have been doing my whole life. Get poetry. I was around people when I was like 17, 18. They were making music like, I can do this. That's a little start. Keep going. Start making music. Now you're at this point where you have a following. You're showing people how different parts of like the city is fire because you got to go to school in different parts of the city. Like everything in your story kind of like indirectly was like, yo, you are supposed to do this. And I think that's what's so fascinating. So how did you still get to make music in the pandemic? And what I mean by that is because, you know, the city has a certain vibe to it when it's alive, right? It's still alive, but it's not the same where everyone's kind of like fearful. Like you can feel the fear in the air. Like especially in the early pandemic, everyone was terrified.
OD.
How did you still like, you know, get to lean into the music? It's like I can still make things because, you know, it's not the same. We don't get to go and like chill with our people or do hookah or like, you know, now we don't want to kill our homies. We don't kill our family. How did you still make the time and energy to keep making that music that you love so much?
That's so funny you say that because we recorded 2 videos in the pandemic. 2 recorded No Favors and Freestyle in the pandemic. But first, a lot of planning. You're only as good as your plan. No funny shit. I knew that first of all, my video guy, shout out to Bina. He's amazing. A great artist, great videographer, director. He's amazing. He moved back because he just had a kid. He moved back to his home state, moved out of New York completely when the shit happened, like in March or whatever. And I was like, fuck, how are we gonna do this? Whatever. My engineer, shout out Ness, he's in the hood and everything, but he was like, you know, being cautious as he should. But then when he started opening up, it was like he only let a couple people in and was like going light on the session. So it's like I trusted him. So I was like, fuck it. Like I'll go make music with him. But with the videos, me and him just planned. I was like, listen, come up here. If we could do 2 videos, let's do 2 videos. And he was like, I bet. We're going to shoot 2 videos in 2 days. 2 days, right? 2 days. And people just came out. People also wanted something to do. So when I was like, okay, we're going to have this outdoor video just on the block, just come out, pop out, bottles, whatever, smoke, whatever. Niggas just came outside. Like, my boy pulled up with the Alpha. It really worked out to be great because I didn't think that many people was going to show up. Like, but just like Elite, it was a great turnout. Like, I don't think I realized the backing that I have a lot of the time. I still kind of think I'm 2018, 2016 Zoe.
Yeah.
You know, I still think I'm that person, but
you're not.
But I'm not. But, you know, whatever. But people came out. And then for the freestyle video the next day, because I planned, I had a hotel room that I had rented. So it was a suite. So I was like, you know what, let's shoot the shit in the suite. And he laughing because I was scary. I'm a scary nigga because I'm an official nigga. So I'm putting my name, that's my credit card, that's my deposit on the room. And we smoking in there doing hookah, we shooting a video. So this motherfucker right here go fucking boom, 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 knocking on the door, like boom, boom. I'm like, oh my God, I'm scary. I'm turning off the music, like shh. Open the door, it's this nigga. But anyway, people came out to the room, and it was a great turnout. Like I remember I didn't have a video girl, but I called one of my homegirls, and she came out. She was like, you know what, I'll come out, whatever, I'll come out for you, no problem. She came out, made it work. So it's just about planning and execution and knowing what you want to do. Because I knew that this pandemic was gonna stop me from doing everything that I planned to do, and I had a lot planned for this year.
Oh, trust me, I understand.
But it was like, let me record these 2 videos in these 2 days so I could release this video, hold out as long as I can, because I held out for that No Favors video for a long time. People was like, why are you holding out? It's like, because I don't have nothing else. I can't make nothing else right now. Like, so I'm holding that, boom, finally drop it. And then hold out, and then boom, the other video. So that kind of took me to this new year, because I knew I wasn't gonna be able to really record the videos I wanted to, because that was my thing. I knew I wanted to do more visuals, and I was like, fuck, I really can't do that right now. But that's why I'm trying to fit in some more videos right now. I'm trying to do like 2 more videos before the year is out, because I already have everything recorded for the next tape. So.
And I feel like it's probably gonna be like an early 2021 drop, so we don't know when that's gonna be.
Yeah, but I don't know when, but probably like January.
Okay. So by that time we've already passed it. So when this drops, it's kind of like retro. But
Right. We'll have another one talking about.
We're probably gonna have to do that, but I think it's really important that people get a chance to like hear how dope they are, right? And it's not like I have like random like playing music, but I'm just like, yo, you're dope, you know. And I feel like, you know, people tweet you, people say it, but like from peer to peer, it's like, yo, it's an honor just interviewing you and taking the time to do this, because it's like just to see that growth of like, you know,
you too, like. I wish I was talking about you. Like, Skip.
It's not about me right now.
Okay, you're right. But yeah, it's my man though, for real. Skip came a long way, and I love to see it.
It's a lot of growth, but it's about you right now. This is
I don't care. Skip came a long way, and I love to see it.
It's a vessel. I appreciate it, and I feel like we got to own it, right? Because I feel like a lot of times, I feel like, especially these episodes, because these episodes. So season 2 was supposed to be dropped way earlier, right?
Right.
But because of like how season 1 happened. That happened before a lot of these deaths, right? Happened a lot before. Like, how did like some of these deaths like affect you? Because you know, you talking about pop, like, you know, you listen to pop, just inspire like that aggression of like Blanco, like we lost Kobe, we lost Chadwick. Like, how did those things affect you? Like, not to say that you're like the biggest Kobe fan, but like those presents of like all these people dying in like the most weirdest and random way in this year. Like, how did that affect you? Like, because I know we all deal with mental health differently. How did you like, you know, rely on your people? The music, your safety?
It really, if anything, it lit a fire under my ass. You could die tomorrow for no good reason. So like, you need to make sure you make that imprint now, you know? So that's really, that shit really put things in perspective in that way for me. It really, because I'm a procrastinator. I am a procrastinator. That is my vice. And hearing that somebody like Kobe, R.I.P., you know, somebody like Pop, somebody like Vaughn, somebody like somebody's aunt, uncle, you know what I'm saying, it was just with you. Like that, it's like, you could be here and gone. It's like, what's your impact? Like, what are you going to do? Who are you going to inspire? Because that's the real currency. Fuck money. Because you die tomorrow, that money, where's that money going? It's not yours.
It's going to go to somebody else or some debt.
Where is it going? It's going to your debt. It's going to your credit card company. No, it's going to the funeral home. So it's like, yeah, you made a lot of money, but how many lives did you change? Like, how many people did you inspire to be themselves? Like, to be positive? How many people are going to be going through life and think about you and say, well, Zoe did this, or this person inspired me to do this, or, you know, this reminds me of this person. Even the smallest thing. That's how you live. That's how you live forever. Like, you don't live forever from some scientific, you know, crazy sci-fi movie shit. That's not how you live forever. You live forever by your impact on the people around you and your community. So it's like, when the shit like that happens, it just reminds me like, yo, you here for a reason, so you better get to it. Real shit.
And that's just a great way to like start that closing process we have for this. And it's just like, you are making a great legacy. And it's like, hear it now, where it's like, you're what, 8 years into it right now? You're 8-year veteran right now. Like, you know,
shit.
Like, you put it into perspective, like
long,
he's like, you put 8 years into it and you got countless more years to go. I'm gonna be right there with you.
Facts.
When we're allowed to go outside and like, you know, go to your concerts and performances.
Man, I gotta see you again, man.
And we gonna make it happen.
I'm gonna go see you again.
But you gotta tell the audience, tell the crowd, like, where can they get your music?
You can find me everywhere. Google me, Zoe Gawd, Gawd. If you want to just do the Google search. If not, you can search for me, Zoe Gawd, Zoe space Gawd. All music platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, everywhere. Follow me on Instagram, ZoeGawd. I'll pop up. Twitter, Zoe Gawd, same thing. Everywhere, Zoe Gawd. So literally, you could Google me, and my link tree will be right there. So just
That's
Google me.
Make sure you buy it. Send her some money. Send her some cash. She's doing a service to y'all, getting these visuals and these pieces.
Facts. Oh, everything is don't even do that. We're gonna have the second round of merch because them Queens tees sold out.
Okay.
crazy.
Talk about it.
Me and Matt got to get back to it.
Get in the lab.
Get back in the lab and get some more shirts done. So that's how you could definitely support.
Yeah.
Definitely buy my merch when it comes back out. By the time you see this, I'm gonna have sweaters, hoodies, and all that other stuff.
Just tap in. It's probably gonna be all over.
Just
social media.
Google me, get acquainted. I'm real friendly. Just get acquainted.
Bet. This is Skip from BK, host of Dreams Money Can Buy. We're gonna catch up to you. Powered by Covalpa. So if you want to keep up with all of our podcasts, all of our articles, follow Covalpa on all platforms like Twitter, Instagram, and stuff. And also shout out to Slept On Creative. They do the clips, the video, the audio for these projects. So I can't do none of that editing stuff. I leave it to my people over there to do it.
Shout out to the good people over there.
So until we see you again, be safe, guys. Peace.
Later.
Whew, man, what an interview. Shout out to Zoe Gawd. Zoe Gawd, Zoe the God. I be always getting it wrong. I remember her the days of Zoe, but Zoe Gawd. This is Zoe Gawd. Keep it simple, guys. Wordsmith, like an artist, when it comes to all those things. So please tell me you enjoy the conversation. Keeping a note with her and her music. You can find her on Apple Music on Zoe Gawd. That's Zoe Gawd. So it's GAWD, not double D. It's GAWD. On Twitter, it's just Zoe Gawd together. So it's ZOEGAWD. Oh my God, why am I using double D? And Instagram is _Zoe Gawd. So it's _ZOEGAWD. Make sure you tapped in with me, Skip from BK. It's on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Tumblr. I don't know. I think I have a Medium somewhere where I used to write articles, but just stay tuned with me. I got some more stuff coming out this year. Make sure you give some big kudos to the production company that helps me behind the scenes when it comes to the audio and the video. It is Slept On Creatives. So on Instagram, it's Slept On Creatives, just together. And on Twitter, it's SO_Creatives. That is SO_Creatives. And, last but not least, it is Covalpa. Everything that I do creatively is through Covalpa when it comes to my articles, my podcasts, and soon to be events in the future. So make sure you're tapped in. Make sure you know what's going on. And I'm going to see you guys soon. Right? Please. Pretty please. With cherries on top. If not, be safe. But we're going to have some more episodes and more seasons. So just stay in tune. And until we meet again, be safe. Later.